There's a quiet kind of magic that lingers long after you leave the park gates. You can feel it when a song from your childhood plays out of nowhere, or when a smell, popcorn, sunscreen, something faintly sweet, takes you right back to Main Street. The world outside keeps moving faster, yet somehow, inside that memory, time stands still. You're not just remembering Disney, you're feeling it. But why? Why can't we let go of Disney even as adults? Why do grown men tear up during fireworks and women smile like children when they hear "When You Wish Upon a Star"? It's not just nostalgia, it's something deeper, something stitched into who we are. And maybe it's not about holding on to the past, but about holding on to the part of us that still believes in wonder. I've spent years watching how Disney weaves its magic, not just through movies or rides, but through emotions. It's an empire built on memories, yet fueled by hope. For some, it's a reminder of family, of dreams that once felt reachable. For others, it's an escape, a sanctuary where reality softens and imagination takes the lead. In this video, I want to explore that feeling, the reason why so many of us never truly leave the castle behind. From the psychology of enchantment to the science of nostalgia, we'll uncover how Disney turned childhood wonder into something timeless. And maybe, by the end, you'll see why letting go isn't really the point. If you love exploring the hidden emotions behind Disney's magic, hit like and subscribe. It truly helps this channel grow and keeps the wonder alive. And tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? I'd love to know where this story finds you. Being an adult who still believes in magic isn't about escaping reality. It's about choosing to see beauty where others see routine. We don't collect figurines or pins just for the sake of it. We collect moments that remind us who we were before the noise of life got too loud. It's a quiet rebellion, a way of saying, I refuse to let wonder die. And maybe that's the most adult thing we can do. I've met people who hide their love for Disney behind jokes or irony, afraid of being called childish. But when they finally let go of that fear, their eyes light up, not with shame, but with recognition. They realized they were never escaping the world, they were rediscovering it. Being a dreamer, even as an adult, is not denial. It's remembering that joy was always meant to coexist with responsibility. Sometimes I think we were never supposed to grow out of magic, only learn to translate it. The same hope that once made us believe in fairy tales now helps us believe in second chances, in love that lasts, in mornings that feel new again. Magic changes form, but it never disappears. It just waits for us to notice it again. And maybe that's why Disney still feels like home. It speaks a language our hearts never forgot, one made of music, laughter, and impossible colors that somehow make sense. It's not childish to feel something when you walk through the gates. It's human, the kind of human that remembers how to dream with open eyes. So perhaps the modern dreamer isn't lost in fantasy at all. Maybe they're simply more awake, more aware of how rare it is to feel awe. Because in a world obsessed with logic and speed, believing in magic might just be the most radical act of all. There's a strange kind of judgment that follows adults who still find comfort in Disney. You can see it in raised eyebrows or quiet smirks, as if magic has an expiration date. People ask, aren't you too old for that? As if joy must grow up too. But maybe what really unsettles them isn't the magic itself, but the reflection of something they've lost, the part of themselves that once believed without hesitation. I've noticed how quick the world is to label passion as obsession, especially when it doesn't fit the norm. When adults cry during a parade or collect memories like treasures, it's seen as strange. Yet no one questions the same devotion for sports or luxury brands. The difference is that Disney reminds us of innocence, and innocence, for many, feels like something too fragile to touch again. The truth is, the discomfort isn't about Disney at all. It's about facing the ache of time, the reminder that we've traded imagination for pragmatism. Watching someone else embrace the fantastical forces us to confront how far we've drifted from it, and that can be painful. But maybe those who still wear Mickey ears aren't avoiding reality. Maybe they're softening it. They've learned that adulthood doesn't have to be a rejection of magic, just a reinterpretation of it. There's courage in choosing wonder when cynicism is easier. So when someone laughs at the adult who still feels goosebumps at the sight of the castle, maybe they're not mocking, maybe they're longing. Longing for that quiet spark inside that once whispered, anything is possible. Somewhere along the way, even magic started getting scored. I've seen it happen. People comparing park visits, souvenir collections, follower counts. What was once a feeling became a competition. The question shifted from, did it move you? To how much did you get? And in that moment, the spell begins to fade, replaced by the quiet hum of ego. It's easy to forget that Disney's magic was never meant to be measured. It was meant to be felt. The laughter of a child, the shared glance during a fireworks show, these things can't be ranked or owned. Yet in our need to prove belonging, we start chasing numbers instead of memories. And the more we measure, the less we feel. I once met a man who'd been to every Disney park in the world. When I asked which moment meant the most, he hesitated. He couldn't remember one. His passport was full, but his heart was empty. He'd turned wonder into a checklist. And wonder doesn't live on lists. It lives in pauses, in unplanned joy, in the stillness between two songs. Maybe that's the danger of loving something deeply in a digital age. We start performing the love instead of living it. We post, compare, outdo, and somewhere the quiet awe slips away. The castle becomes a backdrop instead of a destination. But magic doesn't need validation to exist. It waits, patient and unbothered, for us to stop counting and start noticing again. Because the truest measure of wonder isn't how much you've seen, it's how deeply you still feel it. There's a delicate balance between seeking refuge and running away. I've seen people use Disney as both, a gentle escape from chaos, and sometimes a wall against it. The parks become sanctuaries where reality can't reach, and for a few fleeting hours, the weight of life dissolves in music and light. But when the visit ends and the silence feels unbearable, you start to wonder, at what point does comfort become dependence? For some, the escape begins innocently, a trip to recharge, a movie to soothe the heart. But slowly, the magic stops being a bridge back to life and becomes a hiding place from it. The castle, once a symbol of dreams, turns into a fortress built to keep the real world out. And that's when enchantment loses its balance, when fantasy stops inspiring us to live and starts protecting us from living. I remember a woman who told me she visits Disney every month, not because she loves it, but because she can't stand being anywhere else. Her eyes lit up when she spoke about Main Street, but dimmed when she mentioned home. It made me realize sometimes we chase magic not to feel joy, but to escape pain. And even beauty can become a disguise for fear. Still, there's nothing wrong with needing a little fantasy. We all do. The danger lies not in dreaming, but in forgetting to wake up. The healthiest kind of magic is the one that refills your heart, not replaces it. The one that helps you return stronger, not disappear deeper. So maybe the question isn't whether we should escape, but what we're escaping to. Because when magic is used to heal, it becomes a light. When it's used to hide, it becomes a shadow. And that fine line is one we all cross more often than we realize. There's nothing accidental about the way Disney makes you feel. Every sound, scent, and color has been carefully orchestrated, not to trick you, but to touch you. The soft smell of vanilla on Main Street, the faint background music in perfect sync with your walking pace, the way the castle glows warmer as the sun sets. It's emotional design disguised as wonder. And it works because it speaks directly to memory, not logic.
Scientists call it sensory immersion, but I like to think of it as emotional choreography. Disney isn't just showing you magic, it's conducting it through your senses. Each cue is tuned to awaken something ancient in the brain, the part that remembers joy as safety, light as hope. You don't decide to feel happy there. You just do. Even the park's layout follows psychological patterns. Curves instead of straight lines, soft transitions between lands. It all gives your mind permission to wander. It's why you rarely feel lost, even when you are. The design whispers, "You're safe, keep exploring." That's not marketing, that's emotional architecture. And maybe that's what makes Disney timeless. It's not just nostalgia, it's neuroscience in disguise. It knows how to anchor feelings to places, turning every visit into a ritual of remembering. You step inside and your nervous system breathes out. Finally, a world that feels familiar even if you've never been there before. But the real genius isn't in the lights or sounds. It's in how they make you feel human again. In a life that moves too fast, Disney slows you down just enough to remember what joy feels like in real time. And maybe that's the truest form of magic there is. We don't really buy tickets to Disney. We buy time travel. Every ride, every melody, every flavor is a portal back to when life felt simpler. Nostalgia is the true currency of the kingdom. It's the invisible thread connecting who we were to who we've become, reminding us that joy never truly disappears, it just hides in familiar songs and old scents. I've watched people cry not because of the fireworks, but because of who they were the last time they saw them. That's the secret exchange happening inside every Disney park. Money for memory, present for past. It's not manipulation, it's communion. We pay not to escape, but to feel again what the years have gently stolen. Psychologists say nostalgia helps stabilize our identity. It grounds us when the future feels uncertain. Disney mastered that art. The parks don't just entertain, they anchor. The moment you hear "It's a Small World," your body remembers safety, family, belonging. Even if everything else has changed, that sound says you're still home. But nostalgia is powerful because it's fragile. The more we chase it, the more it slips through our fingers. You can't recreate childhood. You can only honor it. That's why the most meaningful moments at Disney aren't the perfect photos. They're the quiet ones, when you suddenly feel 10 years old again without knowing why. So maybe the real magic isn't in the castle or the parades. It's in the invisible transaction between memory and emotion. We think we're revisiting a place, but what we're really visiting is ourselves, the version that still knows how to dream without apology. There's a new kind of dreamer walking through the parks today, adults who never felt the need to outgrow wonder. They don't apologize for loving something that shaped them, they celebrate it. These are the people who book trips not for nostalgia alone, but to feel alive again, to reconnect with the part of themselves that the world told them to hide. They're not escaping childhood, they're reclaiming it on their own terms. I met a couple once, both in their 40s, wearing matching ears and holding hands like teenagers. When I asked what brought them back, they said, "It's where we remember who we are when life isn't watching." That stuck with me. Maybe that's what this generation understands, that the magic isn't just for kids. It's for the adults who need permission to breathe again.
This new generation of dreamers proves that magic isn't something we inherit. It's something we choose to keep. And in a time when cynicism feels fashionable, choosing wonder might be the bravest form of rebellion left. At its core, loving Disney isn't about castles or fireworks. It's about belonging. Beneath every parade and song, there's a quiet truth. We're all searching for connection. Maybe that's why the parks feel sacred to so many. They aren't just places of fantasy. They're places where the world softens. And for a few hours, everyone remembers how to smile the same way. I once watched a man scattering his father's ashes near the entrance of Epcot. Not secretly, but reverently.
he whispered. He brought me here every year. It was a moment of raw humanity, reminding me that behind every fan, every collector, every dreamer, there's a story. Disney isn't just about escape, it's a language for love, loss, and memory. The heart behind the magic beats in the people who keep it alive. The parents saving for one more trip, the couples proposing under fireworks, the friends laughing in the rain during a parade. It's not the attractions that make the place magical, it's the emotions they awaken. The real kingdom isn't built of bricks and lights, it's built of moments that outlive the day. When you strip away the merchandise and marketing, what remains is something universal, the desire to feel seen, to feel safe, to feel like we still belong somewhere that believes in happy endings. That's what Disney gives us, not perfection, but permission to hope. And maybe that's the point. Being an adult who still loves Disney doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. It means you've learned that the heart, unlike time, doesn't age. It just keeps searching for places where wonder still feels possible. Maybe we never really outgrow Disney. We just learn to carry it differently. The magic doesn't fade when we leave the parks. It lingers in the way we notice small wonders, in the way we still hope for happy endings. What began as a childhood dream becomes a language of comfort, one that reminds us that wonder was never something to let go of, only something to return to. I think that's why so many of us keep coming back, not to escape reality, but to make peace with it. Disney becomes a mirror reflecting the pieces of ourselves we thought we'd lost: curiosity, tenderness, belief. It's not about pretending life is perfect. It's about remembering that even imperfection can be beautiful when seen through the right kind of light. And maybe, just maybe, the real secret behind Disney's hold on us is that it helps us remember how to feel. Deeply, openly, without apology. It reminds us that growing older doesn't mean growing numb. That inside every adult, there's still a child who simply wants to believe that good things are possible. So before you leave this story, I'll ask you one last question. What part of your own magic have you been afraid to revisit? Because maybe it's time to. And if this video made you see Disney in a new light, subscribe and help us keep these stories alive. Because behind every ride, there's a human heartbeat. And maybe it's yours that I just heard.